Recovery means different things to different people, but to me it's about having a better quality of life than we've had before, without substances, free of substances, free of all the things that bind us.
That's what today is all about. We're showing the world that there's hope.
And it's a story of like people helping each other to get something out of life, a second chance.
For me, addiction is something that, you know, to use a fellowship term, something that costs you more than money.
I would say repetitiveness against your will.
Something that brings you to a dark place where nothing else matters.
You can really hit rock bottom, you really can, and it's grim, you know, it's really, really grim.
It takes everything, a full-on addiction takes everything.
But then it gets to a point where you've lost everything and you don't enjoy it no more, but you still need to do it.
It's nature, nurture, a bit of both.
I don't know whether it's a sort of genetic thing. I don't know whether there are some people with just a sort of a switch in their head.
I'm one of those people that's all or nothing. Yeah, it went there, and it went there really quick and really fast.
It's sort of like a ball of wool, and if you're a certain colour within that ball of wool, there's all these other threads of a different colour that are just massively entwined into the ball of wool that is you, and all that different colour is whatever you're addicted to, I think.
Obviously I'm an addict at the end of the day, it's in me and it's there.
I need it to feel alright, I need it to feel better, I need it to do normal simple tasks because I can't cope without it.
It's tied into you, it's like a vein running through you, it's like a network, so it's almost like a...
I still love the drug. I love the drug. You know, I really did love the drug.
I lost everything.
It's like the Alien movie almost, you know, the fact when he's got the thing stuck on his face.
It's a bit crazy really,
but if you take it off my face, I'm going to die.
That's all that matters, is getting that into you, you know, that substance or that feeling.
It helped me.
The recovery walk is a celebration of recovery, of people in recovery, wherever that might be. If you're attempting to re-engage with life, if you're attempting to move yourself forward out of a dark place, then that's recovery. And celebrate the fact that you're doing that. You know?
I think it's quite an organic thing. It's growing at the moment. It's almost a bit like a movement, I think, really.
It started in Liverpool in 2009 as a memorial event. It was an event for people that had died through their addiction. That's how it started. And then an organisation called the UK Recovery Federation kind of picked up with the idea and went to Glasgow with it, where they held a similar event, and then Cardiff last year, and it's being awarded to a different city every year, and we were given it this year.
I'd never heard of the recovery walk until I was asked to go to the second one, which was in Glasgow, and I've gone along to that, and we walked around this park, and there's quite a lot of people, quite a turnout, and I was with the service user group that I was chair for at the time, and we went and made our own little banner, and it was absolutely buzzing just through meeting all the different people from over the country and walking and just, you know, being proud to be in recovery.
I think that's what we're trying to do, is show that, you know, actually it's not the negativity that you hear. Brighton is renowned for being the drug death capital. There's a whole world of people who get better or recover.
This is a powerful thing, you know, hundreds, thousands of people coming together just to, you know, celebrate recovery and educate wider society that there is this word, recovery.
And to actually put your hand up and say, do you know what, I'm actually doing it, and I'm really, really working hard, and all these people are too, and we're quite proud of ourselves actually.
The freedom of not sitting in a fellowship or whatnot and sitting in a room in a church, but walking down the street and there I am happy and alive kind of thing, and to show their friends who are still actively using that it can be done.
You can't explain the feeling that you get when you're walking with thousands of people all celebrating being clean, and whether it's a day or 2 days, you know, people have got that. They can see that people do recover.
The thing that brought me to my knees was alcohol, with a supporting cast of various narcotics, but it's alcohol that really sort of brought me to my knees and left me joyless.
My primary addiction was more, just more of everything. More alcohol, more heroin.
I was a functioning alcoholic, I think, for many years. I've been a heavy drinker now for well over 30 years, coming up for 35 years.
My addiction to alcohol was the main one, which then also went into cocaine as well.
Crack was the main thing for me for the last couple of years of my using, so that was the one that really got me.
And that then developed into doing snowballs, which was my thing, so injecting heroin and crack together. That was my tipple.
We're in the William IV room in the Royal Pavilion.
Today we're having a press launch to inform the media and people who are in structured recovery that we're having a walk this year on the 29th of September, and we're promoting that recovery is possible.
We've tried really hard to get a different mix of people. I mean, firstly, we have tried to get the press to come because it is partly about raising awareness of the fact the event's happening. We've also invited local council men and women, the mayor, local police, they've also been invited. Also, service providers.
It's quite exciting to have, you know, us lot in amongst all these dignitaries and, you know, people that are fairly untouchable or out of reach on a daily basis. So it'll be an interesting combination, you know, because I know personally from my days of active drinking and drug use, I couldn't have imagined being in a royal pavilion, basically a royal palace, with the people that hold the strings of power, you know.
It's the beginning of really getting our word out, getting our message out, making sure people know what we're about and why we're doing this.
And we're making recovery visible in our city.
So, and it'll be like us saying, people from all over the country saying, you know what, you know, come and join us, you know, because if we can do it, so can you.
Sounds good.
So,
addiction of any kind is hard to pull away from. It's always a journey, and one that can take a lifetime to complete, and often it's not until you stop and take stock and look back and see the distance that you've travelled that you can really appreciate the gains that have been made. So it's apt that this celebration of recovery should take the form of a walk. So I can guarantee you a very warm welcome from the city of Brighton and Hove, a place that has a long and reasoned understanding of the challenges of addiction and its consequences. Many thousands of people will be wishing you well, either publicly or from their own personal places, where perhaps they are hoping to gather confidence to be able to bring their own issues into the light. So I'm sure your event will be inspirational as well as celebratory. I'd like to thank the organisers of the Recovery Walk and offer my sincere support to everyone taking part. Your dedication, commitment and bravery deserve our complete respect.
in our recovery, we are admitting that we have had a really serious problem. You know what I mean? And I kind of want to advertise the fact that it isn't really somewhere you want to find yourself. It was only a very little bit more that kind of tipped me over.
In my using, I've been shot at, I've been stabbed, I've been kidnapped, you know, and I've done some serious things to more vulnerable people than me.
A little bottle of something in my rucksack at work, you know, a bottle of Coke with mainly vodka in it.
We had yardies living in our flat, dealing.
Just to stop myself shaking and yeah, sweating and palpitating and all the rest of it.
Eventually their runner buggered up and they needed a runner, and we were there. So to get more drugs from them, we were selling for them.
And then getting home and just, that was it. I was drinking until I passed out.
Then we were raided.
I just knew the game was up, you know.
I'd never been arrested before, and the police came smashing through the door one morning.
Well, what have you been doing when I'm shooting up snowballs in my groin?
All bets are off now.
My son was taken into local authority care.
I had no intention of stopping using whatsoever.
I actually started drinking suicidally after that.
Shaking every morning, sweating.
Drinking to kind of complete oblivion.
Having to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and be looking at my watch constantly, thinking what time's the shop going to open, what time's the shop going to open.
I ended up with nowhere to live. I nearly died, I OD'd.
And then walking to the shop with my hood up and feeling this sort of electric shocks against my skin with the cloth rubbing against my face.
Running around Worthing with a knife in my hand off my face, all paranoid, at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And my hand shaking so much that I'd have to dump all of my change on the counter.
Went into some person's house I didn't even know, just to go and do some crack.
I'd get a half bottle of vodka, a carton of Ribena and a miniature vodka.
And then ended up hitchhiking in a car with 2 blokes with a knife in my hand because I was that wired.
So that when I went out of the shop, I'd be able to nip round the corner, neck the miniature vodka.
They were my lowest points.
Slurp it down and try and keep it down with this sort of gagging.
My head had just gone.
For some reason, I'm still here, you know, and I feel that there's better, nicer people than me that are not here, and I'm here for a reason. I don't know what it is.
Last August we didn't know anything about any recovery walks or the concept or anything else. So we started off with nothing except each other, and a committee and a constitution that we got together. We didn't have any funding. I didn't have a laptop. We had no premises. We had nothing except the will to succeed. And passion and commitment.
Everything's been finalised on the fundraising requests from last week. It's all written up. I've still got to get to there's no point in waiting for Sue to use the printer here. I've tried to get the printer working. I don't know what's the matter with it. We've got a new laptop. That was bought on Friday. That's all set up and usable now. It's a bit like building a house. I've worked in the building trade in the past and things like that, and you do get to a point with things where you're sort of looking at it and it's all in bits and it's all sort of like laid out in front and you're sort of trying to pile it all together, and it's like, oh man, when is this gonna, when is it gonna be? We will have a variety of different things that have to be done by the first week of June, second week, and so on. Yes? All fairly explanatory. What is this?
This is the event and traffic management plan, just for the walk bit of it. We have to do another sort of event management plan for the gathering point down Hove Lawns and then the Preston Park After Walk Festival. So, which will probably be similar size to this, because they want to know what you're going to have for breakfast on the day. Do you know there's 47 days to go?
Yeah, you have to see that, don't you?
47 days.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, really. One minute it was on, 1 minute it was off, 1 minute it was on, 1 minute it was off.
There was a certain reluctance, and on behalf of certain departments within the council to take us seriously. Unfortunately, but one of the aspects of addiction is, you know, you kind of don't give up. You know, that obsessive sort of like, no, we will get our own way. You will listen to us. We will keep on coming back until you sit down at the table and talk to us, and we get some agreement. The aims of the walk are basically to celebrate recovery and to break down stigma and say it's all right to be in recovery, and just promote a spirit of healing within a city that has recognised drug and alcohol problems. Just basically provide a framework for a national celebration of people turning their lives around.
It's been quite difficult to convince the council that it was a good idea.
At the beginning it was, you know, people in positions of power were saying, well, you know, we'll give you all of this, and then actually when it came to the decision makers who were further down the ladder than the people who promised us the world, it was no go, walls up thrown at us.
Organisations like the events department of the council are saying it's a recovery walk, and they go. It's taken them months to actually sort of find out what that word recovery is about. You know, the roads department, Sussex Police. I mean, it's been blatantly obvious that they have no idea what this word recovery is about, because they keep on asking about mass relapse.
And what would we do with underage drinkers in the bar? You heard.
You know?
They haven't got a clue. Bless them, you know what I mean? The stigma and the out and out ignorance has been shocking.
Is there anyone who has prior knowledge of the road to recovery, and if they wish to add any further knowledge on the last peak, anything about organisation or?
I don't think they got it. I think that was the problem, is the concept was just, they just didn't get it. They had no idea what we were going on about.
Because people outside the recovery community don't know this word recovery, you know, and you know, some of them maybe need to, you know, and most people have some experience of substance misuse in families or friends.
They made it difficult for us, definitely, and I think that's probably why we're so appreciative they're playing ball now.
Opinions have changed. I think that, and I think it's quite good that when the powers that be have seen how hard we're working, and that everyone's working who's involved with it has been putting in the time and really doing their best to try and do a good job and do it properly, and be as, even though we're not professionals, to actually try and be as professional as possible.
I mean, the reality is alcohol consumption is not going to be an issue at this event.
I didn't think it would be, but I just not like it to be in the manual and for other people to read and go, well, this is about recovery. We're talking about recovery from a myriad of things.
That's my part.
Let's get it out.
But I think that was the change. They got it. They realised it was a positive event for Brighton.
On that note, shall we crack on?
Yeah.
I think the turning point where I decided to seek help was when I woke up one morning and I'd forgotten what it was to experience the emotion of joy.
You've got to really hit rock bottom before you do anything about it.
So you need to have a big chat with yourself. You need to sit down and have a chat with yourself and look at where you're at, and do you really want to stop? Because if you don't really want to stop, it's not going to work.
Obviously there's a lot more to combating addiction than just stopping taking the substance, which I've discovered since then.
Something internally in you changes, and that's the desire.
My thoughts were, I thought, well, I've reached this point, I've reached this major point in my life. I've got two options: carry on drinking and die.
If you can be really honest with yourself and you can identify that there is a part of you that wants it,
or not,
that's what you need, that bit of you, to recognise the bit of you that doesn't want that to be your life.
But supporting each other in that, I think that's key.
You cannot do it for anyone else. As much as I might have, my partner might have spurred that desire in me, we were both doing it for ourselves. You know, if we'd been doing it for each other entirely, we wouldn't have stayed clean, I don't think.
As soon as you ask somebody for help, then you are in recovery, because you have asked somebody to aid you in taking one step forward away from the place where you've been standing in your addiction.
We're looking, there's going to be a recovery walk later in the year, and Carly and her team are just going to come up and just explain a little bit more about what that's going to be about.
Massive part of the walk for all of us is our own journeys since this time last year, and what we've learned.
My name is Carly and I'm in recovery and have been for almost 4 years now. I'm involved and part of the UK Recovery Walk team who are organising this year's annual walk.
It's been a learning curve. It's been a phenomenal amount to absorb about how you know, the amount of work you have to put in. Having been something that we've been working towards for over a year, we've kind of got 3 months to go now, and it's actually happening. We're actually sort of having to really pull our fingers out.
We're making gratitude trees. We're making 2 trees for people to hang, well, essentially messages of gratitude, but even their home phone number if they want to. But it's an idea of Pete's, and Pete really wanted a gratitude tree, so we set up this sort of creative thing for people to come drop in and out of, you know, from services and so on, and we're in the process of constructing just that. We've made bunting, we're making these trees, we're going to stretch some canvases that people can produce, you know, put their own messages on and so on the day up at Preston Park. So it's just to, and really just to have an opportunity for people to come out of services and do something outside of, you know, their sort of comfort zone a bit, if they, you know, if they want to.
Those 2 are done.
I believe this is the first time this has been done from a grassroots perspective, where nobody's been based within a service or had access to funds, where we've had to go out and find our own funding.
We're all doing it for nothing, and you know, lots of people have volunteered their services free of charge. We have a kind of chief banker, we have a person, you know, treasurer, whatever, who announced a couple of weeks ago that we can afford to do it.
Because the initial budget for the whole thing, if we'd had to pay for everything, literally everything, we budgeted it coming in at about £29,000. We've made huge slashes in that overall cost and how much things are actually going to cost, and we brought it right down. We can sort of afford it now.
Yeah. So obviously,
as it is,
you know, it's something that people have been willing to back financially to a degree, and a lot of people are offering their services free of charge.
Definitely more proud of ourselves than if we'd had more help, because it's the only time it's been done this way. Everyone else has had, you know, a lot of professional help, and although we have engaged some professional people with bits, you know, traffic management plans, things we just didn't know how to do, I think we should be extra proud of ourselves because we did it this way. We all just, you know, were a group of people that cared and found a way to make it work.
And wherever you need me, if you need somebody at Hovelons, I'll do the walk. If you don't, I'll do Preston Park.
Well, this is a gag when we come.
There was a time when we'd spend 2 hours and nothing would get done because none of us really knew. But now, yeah, come home on a Monday, normally with a list of things to do, but they get done and everyone else does their list, and we come back and it's really productive.
Thursday. I'm going to start on Thursday. In terms of what needs doing. Thursday.
It really has been an amazing experience, and the people on the committee and with their journeys and their experiences. It's a privilege getting to know them, because we were all strangers. Nobody knew anyone else. We all came from different angles, all within recovery. It's a week and a half till the event. It's feeling real. It's, you know, people have. We arranged this meeting basically to see how many volunteers were out there.
The other 2 or 3 have said it's really good to see you all here as volunteers. Fantastic.
Without volunteers, we wouldn't have an event. The months of sitting in rooms talking to council officials and police and all the rest of them would be for nothing without volunteers. And it's not the organising committee's day, certainly not services day. It's the people in this room. It's their day. You know, people in recovery, connected to recovery, the friends and family of people in recovery. It's their day. So, you know, without them, it wouldn't happen. 29th of September, a day of celebration, a demonstration.
To actually see it be a success after all the hard work everyone has put into it, and you know, quite a lot of work, to see it be a success, to see people having a good time, that really is, and I'm not trying to sound too altruistic, but I just hope everyone has a really good day, you know.
All sorts of people in all sorts of walks of life, you know, have, if not themselves, you know, have maybe family or acquaintances, friends, who have, you know, have either been through this or are going through this, you know, and so have some level of personal experience about it.
People are going to say, well, what's this all about?
So it's clearly, I mean, it's clearly a really huge thing, you know, in society that the recovery from which needs to be celebrated.
All these people will be like, every single one of these people is recovering, has recovered, once is in the process of recovering.
It sort of touches almost everybody's life, you know, directly or indirectly.
And this is what it looks like.
It's the recovery walk! I'm in a stroke, don't
It's all about recovery, man.
No.
A little bit from the west and a little bit from the east.
I do. In business.
Yes, it does. It's him. Woo! The van's here.
Started off rather manically.
It's quite heavy.
2 seconds.
Is in any particular place? Are there 3 or 4? There's 4. 2 white. Is there 4?
This is a lie.
Okay, thank you. Bear with me. I will sort everyone out. Oh, you've got a bag.
Whoever ain't got a wristband, come get a wristband. We were running a bit late, but we're almost there now, I think. So loads of marshals have turned up, which is fabulous.
Calming down a bit, handed it over to Erin. This is her gig, this bit.
I'm really, really chuffed at the volunteer turnout. That's been a massive worry, and people are really helpful and raring to go, which is great. And we have got everything up in time.
And when the walk sets off, it's Tom who's giving the briefing, and select security, it's their gig, and then Preston Park, it's John the Vans, and basically I'm going to make a speech and chill out, hopefully.
So now, let's get on with it.
Right, I just want to say a massive welcome to everyone that's come. I'm Erin and I'm from the organising committee, and I'm filled with inspiration looking at all your faces who have come to join us today. This project's been a year in the making. We have put our blood, sweat, tears, hopes, fears into it, and we really hope that we give you an amazing day.
It has been quite a long journey for the organisers, and at times it did feel like pushing a boulder up the hill, but we are here. All of you here, those of you who are in recovery, are inspirational, and that's what this walk is about. It's inspirational, and it's about giving courage to those people who either are addicted to drink, drugs or anything else, and to those people who live and love those people. Because if this walk gives the courage of a single person, just a single person, to know that there is a way out of this spiral, a downward spiral, then I'd say that's job done. Right, I think we're ready. All right, all together now. On the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah!
recovery means different things to different people, but to me it's about having a better quality of life than we've had before, without substances, free of substances, free of all the things that bind us.
We're all good people, we've all made mistakes, but we picked ourselves up from it, and that's the whole point of recovery, the fact that, you know, we can move forward with our lives.
It just gives me hope for the future, and gives me peace of mind, and lets me give something back to the people who are trying to get this stuff.
It's putting something back in the pot, like, you know what I mean? You know, I mean, you can take it out, but it gets empty, doesn't it? You know what I mean? You've got to put something back in, makes you feel good in your recovery.
I just feel empowered today and supported by all these lovely people on such a lovely day.
Lots of fun, lots of smile, lots of laughter, and just pure partying. That's what I'm planning.
It's going fantastically. I mean, I guess I'm at the front, so I don't know what it's like a bit further back, but there's quite a lot of further back to be had. Yeah, I mean, there must be 3,000, 3,500 people, you know, so all showing bright in what recovery's about. That, you know, it's real, and it's here in the city.
Recovery! 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 Yes, we can recover! Yes, we can recover!
I'm not crying! Yeah, mate, my feet hurt and I'm sweating buckets, and I've nearly lost my voice. But it's alright. Woohoo! Yeah, mate! Yeah! We made it! Woo! Look at it though, look at all the people.
I'm very well,
what do you think about that recovery walk you've just been on?
Absolutely fantastic.
Hello! Today is not just a celebration of recovery, but a statement of intent. Through just one individual finding a way out of the chaos and pain, their families heal, and the ripples of that healing reaches out into our communities. We have endeavoured to bring our recovery into the wider community.
I'd like to say to one and all, thank you. Thank you for helping me on my recovery today. You people blow my mind.
I'm Chris Difford. I'm in a band called Squeeze, and we're at Preston Park in Brighton. This is the Recovery Walk 2012, and it's a splendid event. I've been doing some songs here, as you'll see, and it's just wonderful for recovering people to get together and celebrate their sobriety, particularly in a place like this. It's just a wonderful thing. Recovery to me is it's a daily process of being in a routine of keeping myself sane, because you know, my past life was tragically lost to alcohol and drugs. I mean, I don't remember an awful lot about it, but I must say I had a fantastic time doing it. But I'm now having a more fantastic time by not doing it. And sobriety to me is just family, it's love, it's music, it's writing, it's being out in the open air and enjoying days like this.
Indians and signals from the rocks above the pass. The cowboys take position in the bushes and the grass. The scorers with the couple, she is tied against a tree. She doesn't mind her language, it's a beating she don't need. She lets loose all the horses when the corporal is asleep. And he wakes to find the fire's dead and arrows in his eye. And baby Crockett runs around and says it's good for cats, it's good for the Swedish doing 90 'cause they got the word to go to get a gang of villains in a shed at Heathrow. They're counting up the fivers when the handcuffs look again. They're in and out of once with the numbers on their names. It's funny how the missus always looks a bleeding same. And meanwhile at the station there's a couple of lucky lads who swear that as your father and they're very cool for cats, they're cool for cats. To change the mood a little, I've been posing down the pub. I see in my reflection I'm looking slightly rough. I fancy this, I fancy that, I wanna be so fast. Give a little muscle, spend a little cash. All I get is bitter and a nasty little rash. And by the time I'm sober I've forgotten what I've had. And everybody tells me that it's cool to be a cat, it's cool for cats.
It's too emotional, Paul. It's too emotional. Yeah, it's just emotional, everyone here and stuff. And it's here, isn't it? It's done. For another year. Oh, I don't know, I'm all tearful. Just missed my emotionalness.
Oh, did I? Oh, damn it.
Crying my eyes out.
Why?
Because of what my sister said.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's my sister, yeah. She said, I guess that.
Go on, I want to hear
That she's here for a personal reason and that I went through some stuff and I'm in recovery now and she's really proud of me and I've been a massive part of this.
Yeah.
Combined with the fact my mum and dad are standing next to each other for the first time in 10 years.
You can survive, you know, that you're not alone.
You might think you're starting a journey that's a difficult journey, but it'll soon turn into an adventure. It'll be the best adventure you've ever been on.
Recovery to me is just being part of life.
Recovery to me personally means being re-accepted by society. For a long time I thought I was outside the boundaries of acceptable society, and now I feel like I've been welcomed back in.
It's freedom, actually. It's freedom to make choices.
Recovery
Nicky, get that banner, love.
peace. Peace.
Get us on a
Peace
banner.
and free.
Recovery means to me getting my life back, being nice to people and just enjoying the world.
And it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I hope, not this boring, awful person who doesn't do anything or doesn't say anything because he's not pissed.
You can be left with quite a productive, sensible, constructive, sort of reasonable person.
Every day is day by day and step by step.
You just got to embrace it, and yeah, it's great.
I feel brand new. Yeah, I feel really good. I'm pleased. I mean, I've got a roof over my head. I've got my daughter. I'm living a life that I didn't think I was capable of living.
I'm living instead of existing.
I feel different. I feel better.
And it's like, I can deal with life.
The things in the future that, babies and marriage and jobs and houses and things I didn't think were part of my plan 3 years ago. I just thought I'd fuck about forever. It all feels really good.
When I had a moment, I was three months sober, and I was sitting in the Pavilion Gardens open air cafe, and it was on my 41st birthday. Nobody had got me a card. Nobody in my rehab house had wished me happy birthday that morning. I just got me gyro. I was going, right, I'm going into town, I'm going to blow it, I'm going to buy myself something really nice and I'll be skint for 2 weeks. And I sat there having a cup of coffee in the spring sunshine and just looking about me. There's like a couple of toddlers playing, a couple of old girls talking to each other about neighbours or whatever. And yeah, I just thought, you know what, this is it, this is good enough. I don't need birthday cards, I don't need anything like that. All I need is this on a daily basis, to feel part of, not to feel separate, not to sit there full of shame, sweating and just obsessed with trying to find the next drink. Just feeling at ease and engaged with life.
When you come to the edge of all the light that's within you, you're about to step off into the darkness unknown. Faith is knowing one or two things will happen. That there'll be something solid to stand on, or you'll be taught how to fly. And we're all flying without any artificial stimulants. Thank you.
And whoever said you can't have fun without drinking drugs, they were lying.
I was born in a crossfire hurricane, and I howled at my mom in the driving rain. But it's alright now, in fact it's a gas, but it's alright. I'm jumping jack flash, it's a gas, gas, gas. Woo! Jack Flash, it's a gas, gas.